How's it going, everybody? The Saw Blade Launcher here. So, I made a promise. Well, technically, I guess I didn't really make a promise, but I did say that I would do this. And it's basically just taking a look at AnnaWaifu's extremely abysmal response to the other YouTubers who have responded to her Casual Gamers Ruined Gaming video, which you can take a look at my own opinions on that absolute just disaster of a video within my channel. But of course, here she is, making a video responding to all of it. And to put it very simply, it's bad. It's an extremely terrible video. It's just 11 straight minutes of complete fucking molding. And yes, I am in fact going to have to bring back the inconsistency counter because, yeah, this shit is just as bad as the original video. So without further ado, let us sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, and let's just dive right in, shall we?
Well, kiddos, it seems I ruffled feathers speaking the truth once again with my recent video ranting about casuals or ruining the gaming industry, because apparently casuals are the reason video games even exist.
Well, you're already starting off with a slight straw man of an argument right there, because the actual points, at least the ones that I've heard from the people that you're bitching about in this video, aren't really that casuals are the reason why video games exist, per se, but they're the main reason why they're even fucking popular to begin with. Do you really think that hardcore gamers existed back during the days of Pong? Hell no!
Yes, that's an actual argument these people use. I am aware YouTubers have made response videos about this subject, and while you're free to make response videos, you are not free from my wrath.
Wow, nice edginess right there. Feels like I'm watching a fucking Darken Blade video, but, and also second of all, keep this quote in mind as within, literally, the next minute or so, it's gonna take a complete fucking 180.
These videos are so stupid, full of straw mans and misunderstanding points, and overall just trying to add on to what I said to make me look bad in some way.
What's extremely funny is that that is quite literally the entire summary of this very video that we are watching right now. It is you just straw manning, misunderstanding points, and basically just ultimately making the other side actually look like they know what the fuck they're talking about in comparison to you.
There's this one response video by this idiot named Krillix, which is the most hilarious video I've ever seen. I'm not gonna go over it, but I will give you some sticky notes about what he said, and I might show some clips, maybe?
Yeah, spoiler alert. This bitch does not show any clips from any of the individuals that she's bitching about within this entire video, which further adds on to the dishonesty of this entire video. If you're trying to make a response to any of the points that are levied against you, you would think that the best course of action would be to actually show the points that you're up against. But of course you wouldn't. Because if you were to actually show the points you're up against, you would look like a fucking idiot.
I also know this guy named Bakugan. Look, say what you want about my channel, but at least my name is easy to say.
Yeah, and so is Batakanta's fucking channel. I mean, it just kind of almost seems like she just saw a YouTuber's name that had more than 3 syllables in it and immediately forgot how to pronounce literally anything.
This is one of the most baffling, responses I've ever seen to a video that I've ever made. I could understand some hate to the Resident Evil 4 video, but this? Guys, why are you taking this video so seriously? It's clearly an emotional opinion piece, but you guys are treating it like it's an analysis or something.
Well, you want to know something funny about what you just said right there, okay? Emotional opinion piece. Who really gives a shit? Opinions are free to be criticized, but here you are bitching about the fact that your opinion got criticized. What is extremely funny is that quite literally, like I said earlier, you said this.
And while you're free to make response videos, you are not free from my wrath.
But then, here you are now bitching about the fact that people decided to criticize that said video because it was just an opinion. Can you please remain consistent for, 5 minutes?
Whatever, let's get into it. So I think the first thing I want to mention is how these so-called not casuals or casuals get angry when I say that casuals care about video games being movies. And their argument's just, well, it doesn't matter, they have fun, so why does it matter? Basically, the argument is, shut off your brain and enjoy it.
Once again, another amazing straw man by the wonderful AnnaWaifu here, because guess what? That's not at all what the argument was. The argument was basically just, hey, people enjoy these types of games, and at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether or not I personally enjoy them or not. The simple fact that other people enjoy different games doesn't affect me. and at the end of the day, it's not really ruining my overall experience of the games that I personally enjoy. Like, that's literally their fucking point, but here you are basically just trying to make it sound like they're, like, the biggest fucking, you know, fans of games like the goddamn Last of Us or something like that.
If you have to tell me that I have to shut off my brain, or just enjoy something without thinking deeper or any thought at all, then you just admitted that what you're talking about is going to be trash. If you care about story in a video game, then you care about games being like movies.
I feel like I don't have to explain why that is one of the single dumbest things I think I've ever heard in my entire life. You care about story in a video game, and that means that you automatically care about video games being movies. No, that's not.
Then just watch a movie or play games to play them. Like, not watch them as movies. I don't understand why the concept is you play a video game and you don't watch them.
Well, you see, the funny thing is that the people responding to you do in fact agree that, hey, you know, they prefer playing the games rather than watching, you know, things happen with minimal interaction. They agree with you on that point, but of course you have to twist it around and make it seem like they actually don't agree with you because whatever fucking stupid reason, I guess. I don't know anymore at this point, man.
Is so hard to grasp for casuals. And what's hilarious is that these people don't even argue against their point. Their whole argument is to shut up and let us enjoy things. Stop criticizing us for enjoying shitty games.
Again, that's not their argument whatsoever. They're basically stating that the fact that people play games that you personally don't enjoy shouldn't impact your overall enjoyment of the games that you do enjoy.
Just shut up and enjoy The Last of Us Part 2. Another thing they call me out for is loving Synthetic Man, like me enjoying Synthetic Man discredits me or some shit.
I like how you're downplaying, the, level to which you seem to enjoy Synthetic Man in order to try and make this point.
Like, whatever. Yeah, he called you guys out multiple times and it's getting you angry. Casuals ruin gaming because they buy the same shit over and over and they don't care about when politics are shoved in their faces.
What's extremely funny about this quote is that it's people like this and Synthetic Man, as well as anyone else that parrots the same exact bullshit on whatever platform, that are the real people that are injecting politics into literally fucking everything, when the things that they bitch about aren't even political or really shouldn't even be political in the first place.
And they don't care about the quality of video games. If you're a casual gamer and you don't fit into these categories, good for you. You're an exception.
I thought all casual gamers are the problem here, but here you are basically stating, oh, but I mean, if you're just a casual gamer but you don't play any of these games, then, you know, you're perfectly fine in my book. Keep in mind that this is one of the exceptions that she brings up within this entire video, and there's going to be so many exceptions, to the point where I'm surprised that she just doesn't really begin to ask herself, should I really be complaining about these people in the first place?
That's not the majority. Hardcore gamers aren't buying movie games, casuals are. And if they are buying these games and they're not a hardcore gamer, the Act Man sold his soul for 10 cents and praises whatever the mainstream is praising. Jim Sterling does the same thing, except he interjects left-wing politics into his videos.
Once again, Jim Sterling completely fucking lost their mind, and I will definitely agree with you on that one, but once again, in your Casuals Ruin Gaming video, you at first, you know, started off with saying that the Act Man was just someone that didn't actually give a shit about video games, and then immediately afterwards claimed that you wanted to see a collaboration between Synthetic Man and the Act Man, and then here you are doubling back again in saying that the Act Man is just a filthy casual that doesn't understand video games. Which one is it?
Yes, casuals are mostly left-leaning or centrist. When you look at a Game Awards show and you see a fat green-haired bitch up in the microphone, you don't think they're casuals or left-leaning? I also didn't say all casuals are left-leaning. Casuals just don't care about the product. It's not that hard to understand. Bottom line is that you didn't like what I had to say and you dislike Balm because of that. Because instead of wanting to make gaming better, you casuals choose to blame everyone else for gaming going downhill instead of taking responsibility and admitting you're wrong.
At this point, I'm genuinely wondering if AnnaWaifu is like some sort of... I feel like there's just way too much evidence that could possibly point AnnaWaifu to being the most elaborate troll humanly possible, because, you know, first of all, there's no human being on planet Earth that would unironically be simping for Synthetic Man as hard as she does, but also, second of all, the amount of things that she states, you know, the opposition does that could very easily be put right back onto herself just makes it even funnier.
Casual gamer, definition. People who don't play video games as much as other people.
You're changing your definition again.
It's not that hard to understand. If you're one of those people who were in my comments that were like, well, I played this and I played that and I'm a casual gamer. No, you're not. If there's people who play thousands of games and you care about what the medium is, then you're not a casual. You're just brainwashed to think gaming is better than it's always been, and it's not.
Once again, this very point could easily be put right back onto you, but in the reverse, because you've just kind of been brainwashed to genuinely think that video games are actually getting worse than they really are.
If you say The Last of Us is one of the greatest games ever made, then you're casual. I'm sorry, I'm just saying that out right now. No one who is a hardcore gamer thinks that The Last of Us, or Forspoken, or God of War Ragnarok, or Uncharted 4 think they're great games because of the gameplay. No, what they offer is just a story. Then fucking watch a movie.
What's extremely funny is that you bring up Forspoken, a game that was universally trashed on. Literally not a single solitary soul enjoyed Forspoken, and it was so universally hated that the studio that fucking made it completely collapsed.
You care about a story so much, and you casuals want super realistic graphics. Why? And there's people saying, well, I don't care about graphics. Like, I'm talking about casuals who do, and that's a lot of them, because they won't go back and they play old games. If you recommend an old game to them, they won't do it. Proof? I've been around gaming for 15 years now, and I'll explain this later in the video.
Ah, yes, proof. My proof is that I made it the fuck up. Listen, the fact that you've been around video games for 15 years doesn't prove jack shit. You could literally be the most seasoned veteran when it comes to video games, and even that kind of person could have an extremely flaccid take on video games as a whole, and you are by far one of those individuals. And you want to know the funniest part about this one? I have my own proof to the contrary, and that proof is literally myself, because when I was a very young individual, I think very early on into middle school, an old friend of mine actually recommended that I try out Earthbound on an emulator on my tablet. It was an old tablet. It wasn't the same exact tablet that I used to use for, like, my really, really old videos. It was like a Samsung tablet or something like that. And you know what? I got it. I decided to try it out, and I played the living hell out of that game. I fucking loved Earthbound, and honestly, it probably shaped my overall, like, starting taste in video games, and from then on, I just ended up becoming the kind of person that just plays whatever the fuck I want.
Video. And for people who say that, oh, they just want movie games because that's how you get immersed in the world. No, let me give you an example of a game called Borderlands. Yes, I'm gonna bring up Borderlands a lot in videos because that game is so freaking amazing. Borderlands 2 specifically. I get immersed in the world and I don't need cutscenes bombarded in my face every fucking second of the game. That's such a stupid argument to me that's actually pretty incredible. You don't need movie, cutscenes to get immersed in the world. The reason why Borderlands 2 has such an immersive world is because of the characters, because of the world itself, about how it looks, how it plays. There's so much about it that is so good that it gets you immersed. I never felt anything playing The Last of Us Part 2 or Uncharted or Forspoken. I was never immersed in those worlds because they're so shit. It was because of the cutscenes that got me, not immersed. Again, just watch a movie. Yes, there are games out there like The Last Guardian and Borderlands have great graphics, but that's not why I play them. Because that's another thing, was that I was saying that casuals care about graphics, which they do. And then people are like, well, maybe they just care about graphics because they want the game to look. It's like, why do you care about the game looking good? Why does that matter?
I mean, for everyone, it's a completely different reason as to why they would, prefer, like, nicer, more realistic looking graphics compared to other types of games. But I mean, like, if a game really looks shit, then, like, who the fuck is really going to play it? Like,
it should be the gameplay that gets you immersed in the game, not the graphics. Why do you care? Like, I don't get it. If you want a game to look good, fine. But that shouldn't be the only reason why you play the game is because the graphics look amazing or highly realistic.
I mean, honestly, that is a point that I can agree with. Graphics really shouldn't be the entire selling point of a game. It should honestly also be the gameplay as well as whatever other, mechanics and whatnot exist within the game, and that is definitely a solid point. But what really drags this entire point down is that it's being, told to us by someone that makes so many different fucking mistakes within one goddamn video that's basically just becoming a living example of a broken clock being right twice a day.
Who cares? Watch a movie or an anime if you care about story and graphics. My god, why do you care? If for the people that tell me to shut up and just let these people enjoy stuff, you guys would be more entertained staring at a fucking wall. These people don't have arguments. These people like Brother Nier or Krillix who call me a bitch and a retard retard or a right-wing crazy psychopath that thinks there's politics and everything and think that their arguments, are valid.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they probably have a lot of solid evidence to back up all of those different claims right there, especially when it comes to the right-wing crazy fucking psychopath that you really are, because, once again, you unironically think that fucking Synthetic Man is a solid source of information for some ungodly reason. But of course, you basically just, waving off the argument of just let other people enjoy these video games because they aren't really affecting you. You're just blowing it off by basically stating that those people must also enjoy those games by extension is just, it's a bit of an overgeneralization, wouldn't you think?
They think that their arguments, are valid. The problem with these videos is that they never give criticism. They either just say strawmans or exaggerate what I say to make me sound worse than I am.
Projection detected, opinion rejected.
Yes, casuals do care about graphics critics because they won't go back and play old games. It's obvious that modern gaming has gone to shit, that you won't admit it because again it would require you to actually take responsibility and realize yours the problem. And I'm not the schizo for thinking there's politics in video games. There's always politics in video games.
We're just gonna skip over this next clip right here because it's just AnnaWaifu apparently trying to cite Synthetic Man as a source as to why there's politics in every single video game, and the entire clip is quite literally just Synthetic Man going on yet another rant as to the Jews controlling the entire world through fucking video games.
I also don't think I want to take advice from someone like Brother Near, who constantly was proven to drag people in the drama when they didn't need to be.
Wanna know something extremely funny? Like, whenever I hear anyone like this try to go after, like, Brother Near, they always bring up this really old thing of, like, apparently Brother Near going after, like, another YouTuber named Griffin Gaming, and that entire thing went to shit because one other person kind of caused it to go to complete shit, and that's literally just like the main thing that idiots like this bring up against him whenever they run out of actual arguments.
Overall, a fucking slimy person. And also uses the funny Ahiko face as an avatar in his podcast, and is an idiot when it comes to arena shooters. These people are in a hive mind that repeat the same stuff over and over because they're mad that someone with 500 subs had different opinion from them. Casuals didn't like what I had to say and just disliked Bomb without even wanting a conversation.
And who's to say there was only casuals that disliked it? Oh wait, I forgot, you have to have like the whole common enemy thing where it's just like, oh, everybody is against me because of my opinion. Listen, it doesn't matter whether you have like 500 subscribers, 1,000, or 1,000,000. If you upload a shit take and people start to take notice of it and start criticizing you for it, there's going to be criticism of it. But of course, you do not seem to understand that. You don't seem to like that, do you?
So well, let's move on to the people who responded to me. Vincent Martin, Krillix, and Brother Near. These people are so stupid, it's actually incredible. Their videos just repeat the same shit over and over. Oh, you're getting too emotional, you're a retard, you actually know what gaming is like, casual started the industry. Okay, come on, the last one is dumb. No, people. People who ran the gaming industry cared about video games, not casuals.
And are you going to show any evidence of them ever saying something like that? Oh wait, I forgot, you do not show any clips because they would make you look stupid.
Casuals weren't even a thing back then. And yeah, I'm gonna get emotional, my favorite medium went down to the shitter. The worst part I heard was when Vincent said, you shouldn't hate the player, hate the game. Well, who do you think buys these games to get them made? Vincent Martin, I'm gonna focus on you because ironically I hate your video the most. You focus on a YouTuber who shadowed me for 5 seconds and then your entire video was just you misunderstanding my points. First of all, you don't care about video games. I can tell you don't care about video games. Tell me to calm down.
Oh really? And how can you tell? What did I miss? What fucking meeting did I miss that anointed AnnaWaifu, the drunkard supreme, as the one person that apparently knows the souls of every person that plays video games?
People keep buying the same shit over and over when they know it's going to be bad. Like, fuck you. I am gonna get emotional. The reason I use Manga Common's video for that example of nostalgia eaters is that it proves that dumbasses like Manga Common will make a 20-minute video calling a game bad, and in the same video, he's gonna buy it anyway.
And this entire point could easily be flipped onto Synthetic Man, except Synthetic Man is much more egregious when it comes to this, because in Synthetic Man will buy a game that he openly states is extremely bad and woke for, like, some really fucking stupid reasons. Let's be honest here. But he'll still go out of his way and buy it and make an hour-long video schizo posting about how certain religious groups are controlling the fucking world and going into every single conspiracy theory just shy of flat earth theory. Like, it is... like... in my opinion, Synthetic Man is even worse in this regard than fucking Manga Common. Oh my god.
See, this is something that Vince and the others won't understand, is I care about video games.
Yeah, and so do they. Which is why they're basically telling you to shut the hell up because all you've been doing is bitching about a non-issue.
To everyone who watched the original video, I care about video games. To y'all, video games is a pastime. To you, it's just a hobby. You know, you don't care about it.
Once again, like I mentioned in the last video, what the fuck is a video game supposed to be outside of a pastime? What is it supposed to be? What is it supposed to be? I'm waiting!
You guys won't understand how great we had it in the early 2000s. You don't actually care about video games, because if you did, you would know how great it was back then. Yes, in the early 2000s, we did get bullied for playing video games. Think about all the movies or television shows where they made gamers look like these nerds who live in their parents' basements and don't care about themselves. Where do you think the nerd stereotype came from?
Yeah, and what's funny is that you probably didn't even exist during the times in which all of that was big, and a lot of the things that are brought up nowadays in order to reflect some of those things are making fun of the very people that created that stereotype nowadays. But of course, you wouldn't understand that because you do not understand media in the first place.
Right here and now, to all you who respond to my video, you're a fucking idiot.
Well, I guess I'm the idiot here because I seem to know what research actually is. Meanwhile, her research consists of watching a balding middle-aged man froth at the mouth for an hour about, you know, how... Once again, certain religious groups are apparently controlling the fucking world and they're trying to breed white people out of existence. I don't... It's people like this that just fucking break my brain. It's hard to comprehend this level of stupidity.
I also never said all casuals. If you're a casual gamer but you don't care about graphics and you like playing good games, good for you. You're not—
Actually, you kind of did say all casuals within your initial video, but here you are backpedaling on that shit. My god, honestly, I don't even think I can handle any more of this video. We're just gonna end it right here. It is just way too much brain pain for me to properly, you know, like, survive. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like. That's very well appreciated. Leave a comment down below on what you thought about the video and what you want me to talk about next. And also subscribe to the channel if you're new and you want to see more content such as this. Also go ahead and follow me on Twitter if you feel like it. I don't have a creative joke to put here. But yeah, anyways guys, this has been Sanity. And have yourselves a nice day.